So first of all, you should have your clips ready. I'll show two methods in this tutorial. The first one for clips that are very hard to Twixtor, and the second one for very easy clips like this. First of all, we begin with the easy method. So you have your clip ready, then you pre-compose it first, make sure this check mark is on. Then you put Twixtor on it, and this is a preset, so just copy my settings. So if you're done copying the settings, pre-compose the clip again. Then click on Time, enable time remapping. And now you can choose how long you want the clip. So basically you just have to beat sync now. I have no song for this tutorial, so I'll just leave it as it is. Then you easy ease it with F9. Enable motion blur, of course. Use value graph. And you can graph something like this maybe. So the clip gets very fast in the beginning, is like slow motion in the middle, and gets very fast at the end, like this. Of course you have to turn the audio off. There are many different methods of graphing clips. Like you could also do it like this, so it's faster in the beginning and gets slower in the end. Alright, so we're gonna continue with the second method. This one is a bit more complicated, but it's definitely worth it because you can almost Twixtor like every clip you want. So first of all, you pre-compose, make sure this checkmark is off for this method, and cut it at where it begins and where it ends, where it gets black, so like here. Then I have another of my Twixtor presets for this one. Just copy my settings first of all. So after you're done copying the settings, you click on speed and keyframe it at 100 first. Then you drag the keyframe 1 before the clip, like here, and then you keyframe it on 10 again at the beginning of the clip. Then you have to have a little bit more space here, because the clip will get very long and slow. So you have to drag it a little bit forward. And where it gets dark, like it doesn't even have to get black, where it gets a little bit darker, you cut the clip, pre-compose again, and go to the beginning, doesn't matter, just something like here where it gets a little bit brighter, and enable motion blur, of course, and again enable time remapping. So you're gonna see the time here and just drag till the movement starts, like here. Then you go to the point where you want to have the clip to end, and drag the little timeline here till it ends. I'll go with something like this before he throws out his chain. And then you'll see there is some movements that are very warpy. So you're gonna begin from something like here. Alright? Then you can keyframe it again. Easy ease it with F9. And make a graph look like this, for example. This looks a little bit stiff here, because here it gets very slow, because only the background is moving, not the character. So maybe you could also choose a graph like this. I often use this graph in my flow edits, so it gets very fast in the beginning and then almost no movement at the end. Of course this example is not the best because I dragged it very long here. For a flow edit, let's say your clip only should be like this. And you see this looks very clean. And if you want, like in my edit, to him throwing the chain out, you go a little bit further and do the same thing. Go to the end, but before it gets dark, something like here. And then you could use the same graph so it looks cleaner. Let's say something like this. Don't do it too stiff, or else there will always be no movement at the end. Maybe it's too stiff for the first clip, so maybe we do something like this. Yeah, this looks very clean. And you could add some RSMB to make it even look cleaner. So you put RSMB here. And then my settings are like that. And then it will even look cleaner. You see? And of course you can add RSMB at the other Twixtor method too. This will make it look even more cleaner. So if you have some clips that are very easy to Twixtor, I would recommend you to use this method because it's very time saving. But for like flow edits with very hard clips, I would recommend you this second method. And if you have a clip that is very hard to Twixtor, there's another method that almost works every time. You just go here in the preview and go one frame forward every time, and only when the character moves, not the camera or the background, you cut. You see? This here is a camera movement, so no cut. This here is a character movement, so cut. And you just have to do this every time, you know? The most enemy moves in like every 2 frames, so you just have to go 2 frames forward and cut. But sometimes it's different, so just look at the preview and you'll see that. Wait, did it move here? Yes. So here the clips end, so you drag it at 1 frame. Then you click on the layer on top, then on the layer at the bottom, and click Shift while selecting them, so every layer gets selected. And then you drag them down till it's only 1 frame remaining of each layer. And then you hold Shift and drag all layers together. If you're done with this, just pre-compose it and use the same method as I used in this clip here. It's the same method, so I won't show it again.